All right, so here we have a unilateral tiger recode routine. We got 5 exercises, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, right and left, and that takes us to a minute. So let's dive in. First exercise is a little bit tricky. So we're going to go right hand out front, left elbow in, both hands off the ground, pinky away on the right, pinky in on the left. You're going to drive your left knee into the ground, tailbone down a slight bit, and then just extend your right leg high. So you get simultaneous hip flexion and hip extension. Now, you don't want the foot to flare the ribs up too much. You kind of want to keep the core connected, and then reach that hand and reach that right glute. Left elbow is going to be back. And again, that left knee is up and in towards our center line, kind of driving into the ground, engaging core as we extend the right arm. We extend the right glute. Keeping those pretty straight. You can kind of look up, and the weight should be a little bit favored to that left side. Good. Take a rest, switch sides. That left hand is going to be out front. Left hip extend. Right elbow off the ground. Right knee into the mat. Tailbone slightly down, the ribs connected. Head back. Extend that left leg. You can start this in a small range of motion and start to work towards a little bit more. The funky exercise at first, but you're working that simultaneous hip flexion and hip extension. I hope the mic didn't just shut off. And we're going to go to high plank here. Hands underneath the shoulders, middle finger forward. Keep those hands active. Get up over the front, press yourself away and stabilize those shoulders. Extend the right leg, extend the left leg. Now, we're going to pack the right shoulders, keeping the hips pretty square, and just work that right knee up and in, keeping that hip slightly down and away. Try not to let the hip come up and turn too much. Just bring that knee up and in towards your center line, and then pack your right shoulder back a tiny bit, and your head's going to fall into that column a slight bit. Find all your principles of plank. Head back. Feel a lot of core, a lot of psoas engagement. See if you can deepen that contraction a little bit. I like to bring the heel or the foot towards the butt and turned out a little bit. Helps with that little bit of internal rotation. Drive it up in the middle towards your center line. Good, let that rest. Shake it out. We're going to go up over to the other side. Middle fingers are forward. Take a breath. Keep it flowing. That right leg is back. That left knee comes up and in towards the center line. Stabilize that hip. Hips are pretty square. And then that left shoulder pulls back a little bit. Head should be slightly favor that left column. You don't want to move your head by itself, but you'll feel your body weight just kind of dump over to that left side a little bit. Like that left heel away. Make sure you're not sinking. Core's up and in. Pressing yourself strong away from the mat. And we breathe. About 100 degrees out here. Perfect. Good, we're going to let that rest. Okay, we're going to go into a single side rocker. So, we're here on all fours. We're going to pick up that left leg, extend it back. We're going to pack the right shoulder as we sit into that right side a little bit. And we're going to work, keeping this knee pretty straight. If we get too deep into the rep, we can start to swing the foot in a little bit. But in this neutral zone here, we're going to keep it pretty straight and start to pack that right side, work that right glute back. So you can keep your right hand here for stability, keep all your postural principles, or you can start to pick that right hand up and get your single side rocker. Left foot can float for more difficulty. Left foot can tap if you just want to work a little bit more range. And work that hip up and back in an arcing motion on the right side as we're getting our single side rocker. And just imagine if we were coming through here, we'd be driving down and out, and this shoulder would spin to the other side, and we would land into our tiger crawl on the left side. If you want to work to a crawl, that's cool as well. Left side here, start with that knee pretty straight in this neutral zone. Okay, you're going to shift your body weight into that left column as you sit back. That right foot can float or tap. And the hips stay pretty square, but that shoulder is going to pull back a little bit. Counter rotate as you work to find some glute and lengthen out that arcing motion on the left side. Great for stability here. If you let that back leg float, and you can see as I come back, I'd be starting to gently shift that energy from this column to this column ever so slightly. I'd be driving my left leg down and out, which spins it up and in. Now I land this way into my hip extension on the right side. Here to here. Working that crawl. Working that rocker. Good. Now we're going to stand. Okay, so we're going to be in our bow on the right side. So we're going to sit into this right foot. Follow the big toe through the outer edge. This knee's going to come up and in. We're going to pull ourselves down into the mat, and then we're going to kind of launch out of it. Boom. Driving that hip down and out. This knee's going to open to 22.5. The hips stay pretty square, and that right shoulder pulls back a little bit. And we're just landing here. And if you can, get off that left foot, turn the heel out, as if that's retracting back to hip flexion. Now I got head over foot. I got toe straight. I got my right knee at my 22.5 degree bow as I'm driving hip extension. And head over foot. This knee should be slightly in front of the heel. And then again, working those hips back. Don't overextend the spine. Keep that relationship between the pelvis and the rib cage. Now we got the left side. I like to sit in and then come out. Find my stability. Find the foot and ankle. As you start to drive this hip extension and release, that inside ankle bone will be climbing and coming with you. We're stopping at a midway point on this hip extension where this knee starts to catch our energy from the other side and open out. And you float that back leg and work that stability. A little bit of counter rotation. Head over foot, knee slightly in front of heel. Core is in, working those hips back. And I like to have that right shoulder slightly forward, right arm slightly up front. You're going to feel a lot of stability here. Foot, ankle, calf, all the way up to the glute and that connection. The anchor down through that foot. Stabilize. Follow the big toe through that outer edge. Driving down and out. Good. Now we're just going to work leaving the ground. So as I land, I come into this position. I'm driving hip extension. Boom, I hit the ground. I get my 22.5 degree. I'm going to get some dorsiflexion here. If I continue to drive that, I send the energy over to the other side. I land in that position there as I'm driving hip extension. But this back leg retracts into my corner with the heel away. So we're just going to be here, stepping through, heel away, bring it right back. Here, stepping through, heel away. Work the stability of the foot and ankle. You're going to land in dorsy. You're going to leave with the inside ankle bone climbing higher and the heel turning out. And you can see this slight spin that happens subtly inside the columns. Right? Drive slightly down and out, sends me up and over, sends that femur up and in, that heel away. You're going to catch yourself with a stable ankle on the left side. You want that flexion, and you work up. Left side. Now we're here. We catch our landing. Boom. We drive. We continue to drive that hip extension down and out. And then we release it up and in. Side. Here. Catch. Here. Very subtle shift. Hip stays pretty square and stable. And that thoracic spine rotates the shoulder girdle kind of as one unit. And you got head in the left column, head in the right column, head in the left column, head in the right column. I like to keep the back arm extending a little bit more and work that heel away. That knee coming up and in is really where we want it to go. So it's going to come up this way on the cycle. Release. Boom. Good. All right. That is our very standard basic unilateral recode routine.